What's up, everyone? This is Harold Sullivan here, and this is the Sullivan Project podcast. Going old school a little bit again here without the Scooby Doo opening. Uh, this is the fourth episode of me being blind. It's been 2 years now. Hey, Google, what time is it?
It's 7:45 p.m.
7:45. Okay, this is how I tell what time it is now. I got to Google, but there is no such thing as time, so that's man-made. And if you haven't seen a clock and you uh, don't know when it's night or day because it's dark or because you can't see light, it throws you off. So you really do realize that over a period of time, when without seeing a clock and things and schedules and that there is no such thing as time, and it's almost like a jet lag. I never did, like I flew once in a plane, uh, and I only noticed a little bit. It was a time zone, 1 hour difference, but it's a little bit off as far as that feeling. But yeah, this is going to be the fourth one, talking a little bit about being blind the last couple of years. I was born with an autoimmune disease, and just lost my sight in my right eye 2 years ago, and lost the left one shortly before that. So we're going to catch up a little bit on these things, and I have a lot to talk about here. Uh, I've been feeling sick recently. I think it's kidney stones again. Not sure, but uh, I just get these since I started getting kidney stones when I was 16, and it's just very bad pains in the side, sometimes in the back, and then in the side, the front left and the bottom. And it feels like you have to throw up and poop at the same time, and you can't eat, but you're hungry and very nauseous, and you can't sleep. And it's usually a week to two at the most sometimes. But it happens no matter how much, even if I drink soda or don't or whatever. And it's obviously I can't exercise. I've been wheelchair bound since I was 8 or 9, so it's just something I deal with. But I don't even know if that's what the problems are because, or that's what it is now, or has been. It could have been other things because sometimes when I go, I don't go to the hospital until I absolutely can't take the pain. And then they usually say, well, you passed the kidney stone already, or you just have to go past it. So I just quit going to the hospital. But I've been sick recently, feeling with that stomach deal, and I'm a little better now, so I'm going to do a podcast. Uh, it's been a rough week or so, so I'm just now starting to eat again. Uh, but I had done a couple of podcasts, and whenever when I'm feeling good, I record them, and then when I have guests, well, we record them, and then I get them up when I can. So thank God for my sister and my brother-in-law, and anybody helping me, because we're spreading the light, and they're helping me, and we're all helping each other, and that's how it goes. So public and safety announcement. I'm an advocate for marijuana, medical marijuana, and all that for certain things. And I just want to mention the stomach thing now. I've I do have the card, so I get it. That's what I have for my anxiety, pain, whatever. I have a vape. I do medical marijuana, and that's it. I was prescribed OxyContin and Xanax before for years, and I used to drink and do the marijuana. So the last few years, it's just been the marijuana card. But anyways, uh, yeah, now doctors are saying, not the doctors I go to, of course, but doctors are saying online and studies and people that it can make you sick if you smoke weed for long periods of time. And if you stop, you'll get better, but you tend to get the nausea back again. So I'm not saying that's what it is, and I'm not saying that that's, you know, but for anybody, I'm just letting you know that. And also another thing, I have high eye pressure. My hip is hurting, so I'm gonna have to lean a little bit. Uh, High eye pressure, which is one of the things that's wrong with my eyes. And now they're saying that marijuana could cause that. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's what's wrong with my eyes because they said I had 7 different things wrong with my eyes at the end, including macular edema, retinal vein occlusion, glaucoma, cataract, uveitis, all this stuff. But if you have other problems and then you have high eye pressure and marijuana can cause that, now they're saying, because nobody studied. I mean, they didn't put people on weed for 30, 40 years and just see what the problems were. Just like all the other drugs, they test them for a minute and, they have no clue what they're going to do to people. So I'm just letting you know anything. Uh, and as for any drugs or anything else, I'm all for just don't start. Period. If you don't start, then you don't have to worry about trying to quit. So that's my public safety announcement. Even though I love the Mary Jane. If it's gonna make you sick, and if it's making me, if I knew for sure it was making me have an upset stomach sometimes, uh, usually the marijuana helps with that. See, that's the problem, or that's what's confusing. Usually that helps with nausea, but that's my public safety announcement. Those two things, marijuana can cause you problems over a long period of time. Once in your life, once here and there, maybe is but if it's all the time and it's used for a medicine, then that could turn into a problem. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, best creature sounds longweed Rachel helped two people.
Okay.
Second, I
Hey
see you
Google,
like
stop.
towels.
Okay, Rachel Talle, director. She's actually on what is it now? Supernatural or not Supernatural? Oh boy, is it Supernatural? I believe it is Supernatural. She was on Supernatural. Uh, she actually directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part Six, Freddy's Dead, and she was one of the first female directors to do horror films. Uh, and she might have been the only one to do a Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween as far as a woman director. And that's great. I was a fan of her back then. I'm a huge fan of the Elm Street series. And then to find out she actually was, I believe she worked on the Winchester, she worked on Supernatural. I'm not so sure about the Winchesters, but that just shows, she's still, this is 40 years later, she's still working. Great talent. And I'm a big fan of hers. Uh, Also, I helped a couple people the other day when I was on the phone. Two people. This is something I'm starting to have now with my energy work. I mean, I'm just lighting it up. So I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck with people. If I call on the phone, even if it's just customer service or talking to people, I was on here for probably 3 hours on the phone the other day for two different people. Just I forgot the phone call, first call. I actually forgot who I was talking to, and that lady did too, because we just went into something and I could feel it. We were like linked with energy, and I was saying stuff that she needed to hear at the time, and I didn't even know what I was talking about. It was amazing. It was just this weird spiritual experience, and I've always been that way. Spoilers alert! I'm going to tell the whole world that I am a virgin, and as far as certain ways, if you want to count, if you go by certain things, and so I'm almost 45 actually. But I always had the feeling or the dream that that particular act would be this is more of a spiritual thing than just a connection that you just uh, it's unexplainable, like these two things coming together to make a one energy, and it's not about a physical connection. All right, and I'm not saying that it was intimate with these people, but the connection is just way better than any physical touch or whatever it could be. And yes, I've done other things. It's just the one thing that the big V card to actually make you to be. I haven't. And hey, haven't been with. Haven't found that person yet. So, and there's no pressure on the other person. They don't have to be. It just so happens to be that's part of me. So, and yeah, I'm not all about that. I do want to find the right person, and then things come with that. But I'm more of a spiritual connection. You just have an energy. But yeah, this one woman, and she forgot. I think I don't even remember. I was UPMC or someplace I called up or Amazon and just talking. And then she told me at the end that she had. Uh, I said a lot of stuff that she needed to hear, and her niece was losing her sight and stuff, and it was just really neat. And then I said, well, hey, I got a podcast if you want to, check it out. And I always mention to people. I don't try to do that going into, talking to people, but it comes out. So, and the other lady, same thing. I just felt very, like, at first talking to her wasn't very comfortable, but like I turned it around and made her energy even better. And it was amazing. But then when I get done and get off the phone, I'm dragging it dead almost. And it's hard for me to, I gotta like keep control of that. I'm still working on that, the energy exchange, and how to take the energy turn to light and not let it hurt me or affect me and not get sick, especially if people touch me. I get sick. I don't know how to what to do. It's like a pure light coming out of his body. Can't take it anymore. It's getting more and more stronger. And we are dying from birth, basically. The soul is not, this body can't take it. And the more light you have, like mine, it's just breaking down. It's been breaking down since I was born. And they call that an autoimmune disease. It just means you're strong, your soul's too strong and your body's weak and it's poison and disease, these meat bags we got. I also want to mention my mom. She came to me a couple days ago in a dream or vision, whatever you want to say. Early in the morning, I was laying in bed awake, knocked out for a second, and I actually woke up with tears in my eyes. And she said, "We're working on it, or things are going to get better, something." And I actually felt, it was her. It was that heavenly feel. She looked a little younger than she did when she passed. So it seems like her looks maybe are changing. I don't know. This is 6 years ago she died though, but she didn't recently come. She didn't come to me until recently, or that I can remember. But I cried because I knew how hard it is and how much it takes. Like she came to come here to just give me, to just let me know, And I was feeling sick and just a little down, energy drained, and she brought me right up. My mom, when she was abusive when she was alive. I'm not gonna get into all that. I forgave her then and let go of all that, and I always love her. Love is a choice, and so is the hate. Okay, and the fact that she's trying to help me now is just she came and she helped me, from the other side. Amen on that. So I want to let people know that your loved ones, if you need help, even if you didn't have the best, it's different on the other side. They can come back and they can give you that energy, that angel feeling. And we're going to talk about angels too here in a second. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, best creature sounds longweed Rachel helped two people.
Hey
Second,
Google,
best
delete the
stimulation.
first one.
Done. It's
Let
forgotten.
me throw this in there real quick, something to think about. Best movie or creature sounds or known sound effects, and just a little thing. And if you want to be a part on the show, if you want to be on the show, or if you have comments for any of the guests, uh, hit us up. The Sullivan Project Podcast. Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube. Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok. Harold Sullivan period 35 on Facebook. And you can call the show, and you can leave a message, and maybe you can talk to me. 724-513-1472. And everyone has a story. You can't judge a book by its cover. And this is a voice to the voiceless here. Anybody can come on. We'll talk about anything. Uh, Sometimes people just need to hear something. Synchronicity. And if you didn't hear that one thing, it might not change your life. Or if you didn't say something, someone might not hear that one day. Those moments are precious, and you have no. I don't believe in accidents, coincidences, or mistakes. Everything happens and lines up. So it's pretty deep. And once you realize that, you'll start putting together every day all these little things, three, four, five little things you'll notice, right? And you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm right where I need to be because if I didn't notice that, then I wouldn't be here. It's pretty deep. But yeah, best creature sounds. How about Chewbacca? Everybody knows that. You hear that sound. R2D2. That's a couple of Star Wars. Godzilla, right? How about the Predator? Um, any other? There's a lot of good Star Wars sound effects. Any other sounds you all can think of, you guys? Uh, Whatever, write it in the comments or share this stuff. I appreciate it. These are little things to get your brain going. If you heard a sound, like a movie sound, if you heard a James Bond theme, you would know it was James Bond. But I'm thinking sounds, uh, Darth Vader's breathing, maybe. The Jason sound, people would probably know. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, I stimulation bells birds in the morning.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop.
light.
Okay, so yeah, Greg asked me some questions in one of the other recent podcasts about being blind, and it was hard to just think back over the last couple of years because I'm just adapting and just switching every day. So at first, I was just laying there and I was listening to figure out how to tell what time it was and stuff. So my sister has a cuckoo clock upstairs. It would go off every hour, but it would stop at certain times. So I would figure from like 3 a.m. to 9 or something, it'd be off. And then the birds would come out, and I would listen to birds in the morning. I'd be laying there in the bed because I literally didn't sleep for weeks or maybe an hour here and there, not even, and I still don't know when I'm asleep, when I'm awake. Like, it's just nuts. I mean, I know when I'm awake, but like, I go to sleep, I'm awake, it's day, night, whatever. Uh, and I used to listen to the birds. It got to be very calming. Certain birds making certain sounds at certain times in the morning and night, and I used to just love the sounds and just listen to it later and smile in the bed, learning to appreciate things after being very depressed and asking God to take me one night. And I quit breathing 20 times, and I said, okay, I get the point. I'm here, and I said I'm gonna do whatever I can to help. Long story short, the rest of my life I'm devoting it to helping people. So yeah, I listened to the birds for a while there, and then let's talk about some more angel stuff here. Uh, Angels. What reminds me of this is I was listening to another audiobook that I had listened to before, Lost Gospels, Lost Scriptures and Doctrine, Lost, Lost, and Doctrine. I'll get back to you on that one. But anyway, yeah. So I'm listening to a part of it, and I start to hear bells, right? And there's no sound effects in this. And then I remember the sounds. One of the things of being having angels around is hearing bells. And it literally sounds like church bells. Just real quick, ring, ring. And then I played it back, and it wasn't on the book, so, or it's on the audio book. So somehow it was recorded in there, and I didn't notice it the first time. But these are sounds, and I get angel radio all the time, which is what I call it. It's like a humming. It's very low frequency, and that means you're being downloaded or angels are around. I've got that my whole life. Also, the warm energy and just brightness I get now in my sometimes in my view. And when I was young, I used to get these little sparkly deals, and I didn't know what they were, but they almost looked like they would flow down from the sky and had like a form until I was a teenager probably, and I noticed it would disappear. And once in a while it would come back, but I just thought I was just seeing some kind of like when people said they sell stars, like when I wouldn't be doing sports or fall, I would just see these like stuff come down. But also that's another angel thing. If you see a feather fall, that's a form of angels being around, just finding a feather. And then you have these bells and all these things. And I prayed for the angels, to come and help warm me. And I believe I'm an earth angel, and we're going to talk about that more the more I get into it. Like I said, the body's breaking down. And can people be angels be reincarnated into a human body? Why not, right? Why can't anybody be reincarnated? And here's another thing: do animals have souls, and do plants have souls? Can you be reincarnated to a plant, to an animal, to a person? Because I don't. I feel like I've been here before, or I've been other places, and I'm something else, and this body isn't what I'm supposed to be. I've always felt that way, and I never felt like I was a dog or a plant before. But maybe some people have. Let me know. Write in on that if you have, or call in and let me know. Because this is deep stuff. Because I mean, do animals and plants have souls? I mean, I think animals do, but again, like it's hard to imagine being in that and then being this. So, but I believe animals do because they. But yeah, do plants have souls? Like, can we be, everything? Okay. I don't know. No, co-creation, not manipulation, right? So, yeah, that's another thing. And then what else here? Oh, eating. I was having lots of problems at first. Yeah, eating because I can't see. So I was dropping food. I have to touch everything and stick it on the fork. And I don't know how much I eat. I learned because you don't see what you're eating, how much you're eating, and it's very nasty. And now my taste buds are off the charts too. And it's like I taste through my fingers. Also, I lost my skin texture, which is weird. It's like I lost my fingerprints. One day I woke up a few months after I went blind, and it's like my skin feels different totally, my whole body. And when I touch stuff, it doesn't have like the almost like stickiness to pick up paper and other things like I used to. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. Uh, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, I stimulation bells birds in the morning. Second, light language stars two fires here
Hey
in
Google,
Bobby Lee
stop.
Ghost.
Okay, yeah, and the teeth, another thing. I got bad teeth, yeah, and lots of them falling out. And I had 11 pulled when I was young, and I have lots of teeth problems. And I remember when they had to knock my two front teeth out, my baby teeth, to get tubes down my throat to do surgery when I had my neck surgery, when my head almost fell off when I was young. And I had to have that halo thing, which is another angel reference. But I wrote on a piece of paper, "I love you" to my mom because I couldn't talk, and I remember writing that. And she told people about that after that. And, again, through everything, that's what I was doing, writing "I love you." And I'm in the hospital suffering after having 11 teeth pulled at once, and like all drugged up. As a child, this is before I was 10 or 11 years old again, young, and you know, I kept going. I'm here though, still. You know what I mean? That's God, the grace of God, Spirit, whoever you pray to and believe in. There's something, you know. I believe in you at least. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, I stimulation bells birds in the morning.
Hey
Second,
Google,
light
delete the
language.
first one.
Done. It's
Eye
forgotten.
stimulation. That's another thing that's different. Yeah. Uh, Laughter and comedy comes a lot from seeing. If you're not blind, if you're blind, you can't. How do you laugh? I have to hear something now that's funny, and so I haven't laughed as much. And I didn't laugh. I laughed before, but uh, I'm different. Have a different sense of humor, and not everything would make me laugh. But now, yeah, without seeing, think about it. If you're blind, how do you laugh? What's funny? You know. And if you're someone who's been blind since birth, I'd like to talk. So let me know and contact the show. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 8:07 p.m.
We're gonna wrap up here in a couple minutes, and then yeah, we're all about love here. So if you just need someone, I've been in that moment. Dan helped me out. Contact the show. Call me. Call 724-513-1472, and I will get back to you if you leave a message. I'm blind. But the Sullivan Project is here to help people. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not this and that, but I do work with energy, and I have high sensory perception, and I do readings and things, and nothing scary. I'm just, again, here to help with my extra things, what I can do, if I can help benefit anybody else, you know, that's what I'm here for. So we all have a purpose. We're all here. We're not just here, and you don't just die and expire, and that's it. And that's sad to think that way, and it's sad to think that things happen to you and not for you. You know, everything is always for something. That's something I wrote. I've been writing a lot since I lost my sight, and my brain has been switched on. Uh, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, light language stars two fires here in Bobby Lee Ghostbusters
Hey
in
Google,
YouTube.
stop. Okay, so two fires. Yeah, we got. I've dreamed about fires, and then we got these fires that have been going on across the planet or across the country. Uh, I don't know if it's a connection or not, but it's neat how I just have these dreams and then things are happening. I've had this happen a few times, so I'm trying to see what it correlates with. If anything I say resonates with any of you, let me know. Uh, Tommy Lee. Oh, Tommy Lee, yeah, years ago, Pamela Anderson, Tommy Lee. Of course, I was a fan of hers. She actually started off Pamela Anderson on Baywatch, and she was in Playboy very young. I mean, not Baywatch. Uh, she was on Baywatch, but she was on Home Improvement first, one of the first Tool Girls, and she was very pretty then. Before she had implants and all that, she should have just stayed, like she was. She came from Canada, 18, and for those of you that don't know, Tommy Lee, who was married to her, used to beat her, and they called him wife beater, and that's why they named them shirts, the white tank top deals the guys wear, I believe, is why they call it that. But yeah, I ordered that sex tape whenever it got leaked out years ago online, $20 for the VHS, and I got scammed. I was one of the people that never got it. But years later, of course, I got it for free. I watched it on an adult site, quote unquote. But just let people know I was one of them ones that got the Tommy Lee back in the '90s or whatever. Tried to get it, but and Ghostbusters are shooting a new Ghostbusters right now. Another one, Ghostbusters 4. So we'll have more details on that to come. And like I said, everyone has love is a choice. So is to hate, and be the light. And we'll be back soon.